Hi everyone, I'm Mrs. Wright and I'm so excited to be learning with you today. Today we're going to be learning together and we're going to need a couple things. I want you to make sure that you have in your learning space, okay? You're going to need a writing utensil and paper, just something you can quickly write down your thinking on. While you grab your items, I'll go and get mine. So I'm back with my paper and my writing utensil. I grabbed a marker, but a pen, crayon, or pencil, those all work fine too. Today we're going to explore the beautiful world of poetry together. Have you ever read a poem? You have? That's great! We're going to read another one together today. And not to worry if you've never read a poem before, we're going to do it together. As we are entering the world of poetry, there are some things that we need to know to start. First, poems are organized by lines and stanzas. A group of lines in a poem is called a stanza. Just like in a novel, you might have seen sentences and paragraphs, poems have lines and stanzas. Each stanza is usually about the same idea or topic. So, as close readers of poems, we have lots of jobs to do. One of those jobs is to read the poem and make inferences about what we read. Before we can make inferences, let's talk about what an inference is. Give me a thumbs up if you know what an inference is. Or give me a thumbs down if you aren't really sure. So I see some thumbs up and some thumbs down. So let's review what an inference is. When you make an inference, you are looking beyond the words written on the page to determine the deeper meaning of a text. You are becoming a text detective. To help us remember what an inference is, let's write down the term and its definition on our paper. Inference. Okay, so an inference is when you look beyond the written words on a page to determine the deeper meaning. Go ahead and make sure you have your definition written down on your paper. So why do we want to even take notes? Taking notes during a lesson helps us focus on the most important information we are learning and allows us to easily go back and review it. So when we make an inference, the first question you want to ask yourself is, what is the author trying to tell us based on what I already know about this topic? Okay? Then you look for evidence in the text to support your thinking. This question is something we should refer back to when making inferences. So we're going to add it to our notes. Our first question: what is the author trying to tell us based on what I already know about the topic? Now, let's see how we can apply this to a poem and make some inferences. Today we're going to read a poem I wrote called A Dreamer's Dream, and we're going to use textual evidence to support our inferences. As we read today's poem, let's use our inferencing skills to determine what the author is trying to tell us about dreams. We'll start with stanza number 1. A dream is a wish. A hope we wish can come to fruition. A dream is our wildest imagination at work. Our wildest thoughts and ideas coming true. A dream is a wish for which we hope comes true. So let's talk about this stanza. What is this stanza mostly about? Go ahead and whisper it to me. Interesting. When I read this stanza, I definitely notice the author is describing what a dream is to them. They're saying dreams are our wildest imaginations at work. Now that we talked about what stanza 1 is mostly about, let's use our inferencing skills to read between the lines and figure out how the author feels about dreams. Remember, the first thing we need to think about is what we already know about this topic. We just talked about this stanza being mostly about what a dream is to the author. So I'm going to think about what I already know about dreams. What do you already know about dreams? Go ahead and whisper it to me. Okay. So I know that people's dreams are what they want to happen most in life. Now that I've thought about what I know about dreams, let's see what the text says. Let's go back into our text in our poem, okay? And when I read stanza 1, I think the author thinks that dreams are something that people wish and hope in their hearts to come true. And I know this because on line 1 of the poem it says, "A dream is a wish for which we hope comes true." This textual evidence shows that dreams are something anyone can wish for and can hope and work to achieve. Let's go ahead and look at stanza 2 together now, because you are going to be in charge of making inferences for stanza 2. Here we go. Stanza 2. A dreamer can dream beyond their wildest dream. A dreamer can dream of a world free of hate. A dreamer can imagine that there are pure hearts among their community. Hearts ready to do twice as much listening as they do speaking. A dreamer can dream that our differences do not polarize us, rather they unite us. A dreamer can dream beyond their wildest dream. What is this stanza mostly about? Let's pause for a second. We're going to stop and jot down our thinking. So go ahead and grab your paper and your writing utensil and write away. When I read stanza 2, I notice it is mostly about what a dreamer is and what dreamers do. The author repeats dreamer multiple times, so it must be very important in this stanza. So friends, now it is your turn to make some inferences. I want you to use your inferencing skills to read between the lines in stanza 2 and explain what is the author trying to say about dreamers in stanza 2. Don't forget to use textual evidence to support your thinking. Think you have an idea? Go ahead and write it down, then read it out loud to a trusted adult around you. While you write, I'm going to erase my board to get ready to write our inferences about stanza 2 as well. All right, friends, so let's go ahead and talk through our inference making process. The first thing we did was think about what we already know about the topic. Our topic is dreamers. I know that dreamers are people who dream, and you got that too. Excellent, great job. Now that we've thought about what dreamers are, we need to use textual evidence from our poem to support our thinking. Here's one example. The author says a dreamer can dream beyond their wildest dream. This shows that the author believes dreamers can think of very creative dreams to possibly change the world. I know this because the author includes in the poem dreams like a world free of hate, and differences uniting us rather than polarizing us or separating us. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. This shows that The author believes dreamers can be very creative to possibly change the world. If the inference you made is similar to the author believing that dreamers can change the world, and you found textual evidence to support this, then you're right on track. If the inference you made is different from this, then it's not necessarily wrong. You just have to make sure that you have strong textual evidence from the poem to support your thinking. Wow, great work today, text detectives. So let's review what we've learned today. Today, we learned that with a text, we can make inferences by taking what we know and adding evidence from the text to understand its deeper meaning. Including evidence from a text is how we support our thinking. As you read, watch, and listen to different types of text today, use your inferencing skills to understand the author's deeper meaning. Thank you so much, friends, for tuning into today's lesson. I look forward to learning with you again soon. Bye!